Welcome back to the Moment of Truth with DNA Angels. My name is Linda Grinnell, and I am a volunteer with DNA Angels. If you have never heard of DNA Angels, we are a nonprofit organization that specializes in identifying birth parents at no cost for those searching. We work with adoptees, donor-conceived individuals, those who never knew their father or mother, or someone with a DNA surprise. Today, I am talking with our very special guest, Denise, and she is here so we can reveal information about her birth father, and we are bringing you along for the journey. Let's welcome Denise. Hello, Denise.
Hi, thanks for
How,
having me.
oh, you're very welcome. We're happy to have you. Would you please tell us your unique story and how you came to DNA Angels?
My story is unique, and it really is.
Yes.
I had gotten in a fight with my big brother, and he, out of spite, revealed to me that my father was not actually my father and not his either. And I got the information out of my parents and didn't get much information after that. Over the years, I have been able to collect a little bit here and there.
So your brother revealed to you that the man you thought was your father was not your father. And how old were you when that happened?
About 7.
Oh, that's very young. So that must have been very difficult to even understand and process, right?
It was mind shattering. Now, the man that was my father at the time did in fact adopt us kids.
And who did you think your father was before your brother saying that? But
Oh, his name
don't say a last name.
oh,
Don't say a last name.
his name's
Just
Greg.
Greg. Okay. So that had to be, as you got older, that had to be harder and harder to process. Well, we're glad that you came to us. And would you please tell me a little bit about your mother and what her relationship was um, with your birth father?
My mother, due to a closed head injury at the age of 14, has very sketchy memory. She is also bipolar and was not the most stable for many years.
And so did she try to give you, did she give you a name for your birth father at that point?
We had gone to my great grandmother's house, and I was going through pictures, and I found pictures of some weird looking guy with my mom. And I asked my great grandmother, and she says, "Well, baby, that's your dad." But there was nothing wrote on the back of them.
Were these the wedding pictures that you had found?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, what did she tell you? Just first name, please. What did she tell you that her husband's name was?
George.
Okay. So you knew George, and you had a last name. I know that we're just not saying last names, but so that's about all you knew about him is that picture and a name, right?
Yes, ma'am. And there has always been a discrepancy on the spelling of the last name.
Okay. Okay. Well, before we go on, this is kind of an odd question, but I have a reason for asking it. Would you please tell us your favorite color?
Green.
Okay. So, everyone listening, if you are supportive of Denise and her biological truth, would you please leave her a green heart in the comments? I know it would mean a lot to her to know that people really care and maybe are even identifying with her story. Okay. So I need to tell you, you came to us, and many of our clients have come to us and they say, well, my mother said my father is, and sometimes they say, my mother said my father is, my husband. But sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not, but it's up to us to prove it. So what happened was that when I got your case, I began sorting your matches using the leads method. And I briefly explained that when I got your case. And basically, it's just a system, a very, very good system of sorting your matches into two grandparent lines. Your birth father has a father and he has a mother. And so the leads method sorts those matches. And then what we do is we find common ancestors for all those matches, who they descend from. And when they descend from that set of common ancestor, that means you do too. And so you have two lines. You have your grandfather's line and you have your grandmother's line. And what I and all of us here at DNAngels are looking for is where those two lines connect, hopefully in a marriage. It's ideal it's in a marriage, but sometimes it's just a relationship. And when we find that connection of those two lines where they intersect, we know that your birth father or birth parent is the child of that couple. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm only going to use first names with last name initials to protect your privacy, but I was able to identify that your grandfather was named Leslie C. and your grandmother was Hazel T. And they were the parents of your birth father. Leslie C. and his wife Hazel T. only had one son, and indeed his name is George C. So your mother was telling the truth. Not all our mothers tell the truth, but your mother was, and your father is indeed George C. And I'm pretty sure you believe that in your heart, but we had to prove it.
Thank
And I
you.
know that you're welcome. And I know that you have the pictures of your parents' marriage, and you have George's name is on your birth certificate. But now you know your mother was right. She gave you the right information. I've given you a lot of information to process. How are you feeling right now?
I'm doing okay.
All right. I'm glad to hear that. So I know that you'd already peeked in your tree as I was working on your case, and you had seen that I had put George C. as your birth father. So today is not a total surprise to you. I
Just
know
drank of
when
water.
he died in 2001, you were about 23 years old. Is that right, Denise?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry you never got to meet him. If your mother had allowed it, I would hope that he would have been a good father to you. But George did have two marriages during his lifetime. And his first marriage produced a son, Christopher, who is your half brother. And as far as I can tell, you were George's only daughter. So I
I'm
just
okay
wish
with that.
I wish the two of you could have met. I have some background information for George. He was born and lived his life in one of the southern states, and I think you know which southern state it is. We're just trying to protect your privacy and keep that state from being published. He married two times and only had the one son, Christopher, from his first marriage. His second marriage was evidently happy, I think, because his widow, Myrtle, who she was with him she was his wife when he died, she posted a photo of George and herself on Facebook. And she said, "This is me and my husband, George C. He's been gone for 14 years, and I sure do miss him." I'll post a picture of him, a latter picture of him in your client room right now. Do you have the ability to go to your client room now, or you want to just look at the picture later?
I can just look at it later.
Okay, I'll just post that real quickly. It's not a great picture, Denise. It looks like Denise that Myrtle probably took a picture of a picture, but it does give you an idea of what he looked like in his latter life. And I'm going to give you contact information for Myrtle, and I believe she's still living, and I'm hoping that she will be very kind to you and share some pictures of your father and share what her life was like with him.
That's so exciting.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you had seen George's obituary, if you had clicked on the link, but he did die at the age of 45 of cancer. Oh, he's very young.
Very young. I wonder what kind.
I don't know. The obituary just said that that he had a long battle with cancer. So I'm hoping that's something Myrtle would be happy to share with you. I also have one more sad piece of information, and I'll share it with you now if you want, or it can be done in your quiet room. But George's father, your grandfather, Leslie C., had a tragic end to his life. Do you want me to give you that information right now, or would you prefer it privately in your chat room?
I have it right now.
Okay. So I searched newspapers for his name, Leslie C.'s name, and found several articles. And he died at the age of 40 as a result of murder suicide. In the article, he was a career Navy man, so very accomplished man, I'm sure. And the article that the police reported that a gun was, his second wife was found dead, and the gun was beside George's hand. So said the article said they'd been to a party, maybe some drinking was involved. I'm not sure what caused him to take this step, but he did kill her, and apparently, from what the police said, take his own life as well. Um, I'm really, really sorry to give you these sad things, but life is not always lollipops and roses, and sometimes we have these. We can't choose our families. We can't change what our families have done or said. So, anyway, do you have any questions? Or please tell me how you're feeling about all this.
I'm feeling very informed. I'm at a good place with it. I have been digging for the correct story of this man most of my life. And I had just received my adoption papers. Well, it's probably 20 years ago now. And in my adoption papers, George is listed as George Leslie Calla. Oh, can't say that. And the middle name.
Mm-hmm. His middle name, as far as I can tell, was Raymond. But Leslie is his father's name. So maybe he had two middle names. I don't know. I'm not sure. Before I go, Denise, what led you to DNAngels? How did you find us?
I had stumbled across you on Facebook before and had tried to enter and was told that you were more than welcome to have me, but I had to get my DNA done first.
Exactly.
So for Christmas, I got a DNA kit, and I have been plugging along, but having such the wrong middle name, not being quite sure on the exact spelling of the last.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. I had found George Raymond. I had found him.
Mm-hmm.
I might have even found him before he passed away a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
It was so different. I'm excited to see if I can get in touch with my half brothers. That would be exciting.
Right. You had already asked me previously for Christopher's contact information, and I was happy to provide that. And we'll let you know that if you are a little bit nervous about approaching him directly, our organization does have a liaison service where we will do the contacting for you. It does not cost you anything for us to identify your birth parents, but the liaison service is a paid service, and I'd be happy to help you learn more about that. Denise, I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm so sorry that I had some sad things to tell you, but I'm here to support you. We do not. This is not the end of our relationship. I will always be here for you, and we also have a client support room. So I would like to say to our listeners, if you or if someone you know has tested with Ancestry DNA and would like to identify an unknown parent, please reach out to us at DNAngels.org. We would be happy to help you identify your biological truth. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you for having me. You've given me a lot of good information.
You're welcome. And I've got more to give you in your client room.
Okay.